There we are. I put it live also so they can see the Two of Wands.
Oh, very nice. Okay. How much time we got? We still got a little bit of time, right?
We got 3 minutes.
Oh, wow. Maybe I should unmute then.
Oh, yes.
I didn't realize I was running behind. Okay.
No. And it is 5:30, and it is time. Michael,
Jamie.
how are you?
I'm good.
We went through the entire tarot.
We did.
Is that not mind-blowing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we started this. I didn't even look. Did you see when we first started doing this?
It's been a bit. You were saying that like you were thinking it was 6 months. I think it was longer than that actually.
Yeah. Get more of your pretty face.
But yeah, it's been a journey and we've completed it.
Yes, and I can't wait to see what we do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, I got so much from it. I mean,
it was fun.
You know, going through each one of the cards, I can tell that it really did affect how I did readings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, because in the mornings, you know, I can even look back and see where, you know, at first I was just doing, you know, how I was doing my, you know, here's the money shot here.
Right.
It's like, here's 2 sentences. And then as we're sitting there doing more and more, it's like, it had my mind thinking about all the history and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it just started expanding from there. And now it's like I'm writing entire novels. And when I have to go back to work, I'm going to have problems because I sit there for 45 minutes just
Still
meditating
thinking.
on the cards, typing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, it just expanded where I go with it and what I thought.
And the trouble is that to incorporate all that knowledge, but still bring it back down to that fortune cookie, you know, short and sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we've gone through the entire deck. We went through all the majors. We've gone through all the pips, and so we thought that today we would just kind of go through, maybe show some of our resources, do a recap, anything that we might have learned, anything special.
Answer any questions.
Answer any questions. Say hi to people and just let people know we're going to keep going on with this.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have that wonderful new graphic. It's like, hey, let me do that again. Let me do this again. Look at that. Look at that. One of the things I learned. It's like the first time I'm sitting here, the first time when we first started, I had barely even had something above a, hello Twix. Barely had anything above like a camera on my phone.
Yep.
And crayon graphics. And it's like, oh man, I gotta step up my game.
Yeah. We've come a long way, baby.
We have. So, what about you, Michael? What did you get from it?
Oh, I mean, just it was extra incentive to do the heavy research. I was already doing,
You're doing your card
for my deck, right?
Oh, well, I guess this is the place to really say it. A lot of people have said it.
Yep.
But why did we do this?
Why?
Because Michael is working on a deck, and he was going to have a deck done to show at the end of all of this.
That didn't.
And so we'd sit down and we'd talk about the tarot nonstop with our significant others glaring at us. So you guys going to talk about the tarot? Why don't you start a podcast? Why don't you do something? It's like, okay, we'll do that. And that's how this started. Yep. Michael's still working on his deck.
Working on it, yeah.
And so I figure we've got 2 or 3 more years.
Hopefully not that long. Hopefully not that long.
So that we can finally see his completed deck.
No. I'm working. It's just life gets in the way. But it's the trouble is when I learn and more because I'm researching to do the show. It's like that was the problem. I learned a new tidbit. I learned a new thing here. That card that I did, I could do it better. I've got this new knowledge. I got these little extra things that I want to incorporate.
I'd watch him run home afterwards, and he'd be like, "Oh no, I need to change this.
I do.
I need to redo this."
And that's why it's taking so long because it's. Oh my God. At some point it will be done, but. It's still a work in progress.
And I tell you, getting support. And hello, Miss Shay, and thank you for showing up.
Yes.
And it was a lot of support. So people were supporting us. And of course, we have the MyTarot Facebook page. And it's like, there's people who've followed us through this journey. And I appreciate that. Carla, you've been here for a long time. Twix, you've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
We're running on YouTube. We're running on Twitch. We're running on Facebook, so yes, it's been very exciting. So, Michael, how would you start we're coming here? We're gonna do the next card.
Right.
What would you do?
Okay, so I'd go back first through my notes because I've done a bunch of research already, but then I would want to supplement it. So I'd go to my favorite websites.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna show?
Well, that was sure.
Pull up a couple.
I'll tell you what. Let's go over here, and let's get rid of this here. And I know. Look at that. Okay. So, and I'm gonna pull up the web page.
Okay.
So here.
Google. Yeah. All right. So I'm sure you.
So what is your web page?
My web page is already forever. You want to go to mine first?
Well,
or you want to go to the ones that I go to?
Well, let's go to the
research.
ones you go to for research.
Okay, so I'm sure you've heard of tarotforum.net.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one I'm sure we both go to. This is one of the oldest forums on the internet. It's been around since forever, and there's all the conversations.
There is so much on here, and just doing a Google search, and I would end up here.
Yeah. There's just everybody's that's already had the conversation that you thought you were the first one.
Right, exactly. If you had questions, a lot of times when I was looking for decks, it's like almost every single deck that I could ever want was in here.
Yeah.
Tarot history's in here, all these discussions. So, yep, I'm in here too.
Very thorough website. Yep.
Another
one I went to all the time is the hermeticgoldendawn.org. Hermetic. We should have bookmarked these before. Yeah.
Goldendawn.org. Dawn.org.
Yeah. Oh.
What am I spelling wrong here? Am I spelling hermetic wrong? E.
Yes.
There we go.
There it is.
See, I didn't go to this page.
Yeah, this is a fun one. And there's lots of, like, if you go to the resources, there's like there's all the stuff on like the Hermetic art, and then the archives. There's I forget some of the Golden Dawn system, was it? That yeah, there's like some quotes in there by Mathers and such. It's just a good site.
And so yeah, and especially for the fact that for the Golden Dawn and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because of course our wonderful Pamela Coleman Smith decks were based on all the Golden Dawn stuff, which if you've been following us, you know we talked about it and so
and the Thoth deck as well.
So
even more so.
Yeah. So as we were going through, then what I did. Okay, so you were using that. So I actually here is a book.
Classic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's
Zoom out
there
a
we
little
go.
bit or pull out.
There we go.
That's better.
There we go. It's trying to focus on you.
There you go.
The Occult History of History of the Occult Tarot
That's a good
by
one.
Decker and Michael Dummett. So this is the one that I would listen to. I mean, I would read, refer back to, because it covers a lot of the Golden Dawn stuff, but it also covers the history starting from Degeblin and things like that. So that was a big go-to for me also when I wanted to go through and see actually the growth of the occult side of the tarot.
Sure. And here's one of mine. Well, you want to go back and forth?
Well, I tell you what.
Oh, do we got a question?
Well, yeah, Carla is asking.
Yeah.
Well, first she says you can't stop now.
we won't. Don't worry.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, it's a very good idea, and we will put these websites down below.
Oh, would you link to...
And to tell you the truth, I will also put these links on the MyTarot.org website.
Sure, yeah.
So that they will also be permanently there, but I will make sure that we put these in the links.
Yeah, that's...
All of our resources. Oh my gosh. All of our resources.
It's a lot of books.
If you want to see my stack of
Yeah,
books.
I've got a stack over here. Do you want to do every other one and just go through them?
Well, I mean...
Unless somebody has any extra
one.
questions.
And so I tell you what, so there's two of yours.
Okay.
How about if I bounce to one
You want to do one of your websites? Yeah.
Yeah, let me see here. So... did you ever go to tarotwheel.net?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a classic, yeah.
So this one is a really good one. I don't know how often it gets updated or if it's just kind of been out there now forever, one of those things. But this website right here, tarotwheel.net.
I think you already have a link for this one on your MyTarot.org.
Because it covers so much information. Right down to all the different, and I learned a lot from here because this person here has got all the cards, a ton of information.
Yeah.
You know, as we're looking at the Carrie Yale and all the other original. So this spot, this website,
it's a good one.
to be one of my all-time favorites.
Good one to bookmark.
Tarotwheel.net. It's an amazing one to bookmark.
Yeah.
Again, I can't emphasize enough on this, and I need to actually send this person, I need to send whoever this is a thank you because I did. I got
spent a lot of time on this one.
I did.
Sure.
So, so what else did you get? What else was some of your inspiration?
Okay, well, this book I consulted all the time. This is Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot.
Tell you what, I can actually do the two cameras so that the full screen. There you go. Now you can put it underneath because this camera here does much better.
Yeah, there we go.
Much better.
This one is a great book for understanding the Thoth one, as the title says.
Okay, I have to say this as you're talking about. So my wife, Mina, calls these breadcrumbs because every time I reach for my car keys, they fall onto the ground. And so I can always find my way home because I've got a ton of guitar picks. Sorry about that. That just popped up like they do all around the house.
Yeah.
So
this is a good one. This is a book I just got, which is fantastic. I totally recommend. This is Origins of the Tarot by De Leon. And so much great information in this one. I'm having fun underlining things that pop out to me. But fantastic book. Can't recommend that one enough.
And that's one that I don't have, and
Yeah.
that's one you told me about.
Yeah, this one's really cool. And it's just a lot of history, and I like here, let me find just a nugget of information to whet your appetite.
I like nuggets. A chicken nugget of information.
Right.
Or a veggie nugget. He's a
vegetarian here. It is the thesis of this book that the 22 images conceptually originated in Sufi circles, trained in Greek studies. An unknown Eastern Christian-influenced artist then portrayed those concepts via playing cards similar, if not identical, to the iconic images shown in this book. Those cards emerged out of the merchant class society, focused on understanding and influencing the forces of fate and fortune. That multicultural class included Italian cosmopolitans, Sufi sages, and Byzantine literati. And we will see that Venice, Alexandria, and Constantinople were the primary urban centers involved in creating the original tarot cards, concepts, and symbols.
Where did I read something? So,
yeah.
Oh, I know.
So this is
So they're saying that the original artwork and stuff for the tarot came from the gathering together of
Yes,
so,
and not only that, but it's a theory that you don't see in too many other books. Maybe
it's
maybe a few.
Same theories in this one, which is the Way of the Tarot, the spiritual teacher, and the cards.
Right, but unlike
Jodorowsky.
Jodorowsky, who is he sees things that might not always be actually there.
Right.
These guys have lots of footnotes and back up their theories with facts, which I'm sure you love. So this is not just pie in the sky ideas, but actually credible theories that carry some weight, which I love.
Okay, so let me see that book one.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where so I will have to get this, but I am credulous when I see people with the theories. I mean,
yeah.
So I would be interested in going through this and seeing what their footnotes are and documentation.
Absolutely.
Because Michael knows
I know you're a stickler, and that's
I understand there's theories as long as they say this is a theory, a possibility, and not. I'm going to say that this is a fact because De Geblin said.
Yeah, no. It's not like that at all. This is and they treat it very in a way that you would find comfort with.
Okay.
But at the same time, they are proving or not proving, but giving credible weight to the possibility of some of these ideas that resonate for me.
Okay.
So it's
yes, and so I will definitely.
It's a fun one.
That's going to be my next book that I buy.
Totally recommend it
Because again, so might as well just pull out.
I mean, and I love
Jodorowsky.
not to knock Jodorowsky. I mean, fantastic visionary.
So absolutely, and I tell you what. So first thing he says is that there is no mystical, magical anything to the tarot. And then he goes into the mystical magic. And then he jumps right into it.
Right.
But, some of the cool stuff about this is that he goes into all the symbols that are on the cards. And so...
And he sometimes invents his own.
Yeah, really. So keep in mind... He really does. So keep in mind that this is for the Marseille Tarot. But I will tell you that what really ended up happening... is that when I really started focusing more on the Marseille Tarot, because it is simpler in the sense that it doesn't have all the esoteric stuff and things like that. So I would suggest to anybody who wants to take that next step with the Rider-Waite-Smith to
go back
jump
to the basics.
into the Marseille.
Yeah.
Go back to the beginning because, I have all my books over there.
Right.
And, they are people who are repeating what other people have said in the 50s, who read something in the 30s because somebody in 1890 saw it written in 1821.
It helps to go back to the basics
So
to see the
original
original sources. Yeah.
And that is why... Yep. So this really is a good book.
Yep.
When he gets into some of the other spiritual stuff, I take it with a grain of salt. But
he's entitled to his opinions.
He is absolutely entitled to his opinions. But you don't care about that. But so he covers all the cards in good depth. He does kind of invent stuff because he says that he worked with the person whose family originally did the Convert deck, and so he thinks that he has extra knowledge. It may or may not be true, but like
he feels it though.
Yeah. So the high priestess is actually sitting on an egg.
That's his famous one.
Things like that. Yeah, that's the thing. So so that's one that I do go to though.
Despite being your factual, inclinations, you still go to this book.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a quote from this book. I have to get that. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I should do a class on the Marseille, using the Marseille and the Rider-Waite, moving from the Rider-Waite to the Marseille and back to the Rider-Waite.
And back.
So
the more you learn, the more you can appreciate and apply it to whatever deck that you like.
So Joe Dworsky is actually a director.
Yes.
So
the original creator for Dune.
Yeah, he was going to do Dune. He did the
Holy Mountain.
The Holy Mountain. He's a lot of surrealistic kind of movies.
Visual head trip.
Oh, absolutely. So I didn't take him serious at first. I mean, somebody said, "Well, you should get this book." It's like, yeah, okay. But it turns out that it is good. Before he picked up filmmaking, he was already doing the tarot.
Yeah.
So my quote from this book, though, is he discusses the fours, and it just put it so succinctly. Pamela Coleman Smith, we see the four, and we see the girl, the person sitting on the stage with the four of coins, and it's like, well, this is supposed to be something positive, but they look greedy, they look something, and I'm not going to find it. So.
We know it. Yeah. It's the king, and he's holding his coin, and
and Joe Dworsky explained it to me. And the explanation is stability over time can move to comforting consistency, and that can manifest itself over time to boredom, stagnation, and resistance to change out of fear of the unknown. For every side of the four that is peaceful and grounded, there is a shadow side of avoidance and outgrown attachments. For revolutions do not occur under the four, but they may be inspired by the long, uninterrupted stasis that underscores it. The time frame starts as a comforting security and consistency, but it can manifest itself as stability. So
absolutely,
my gosh, it was so succinctly done. It's like, I can't help but describe the fours that way now.
Yeah, it's definitely tapping into the older Pythagorean idea of the stability being a four, but taking it and describing it in a way that resonates for you. That's fantastic.
Well, yeah, because I tell the story of the pips.
Yeah.
As instead of just numerology. To me, I see it because I'm a storyteller.
As a story, yes.
And I'm intuitive, so I can see 1 is new beginnings. 2 is making that decision. 3 is making the decision because you've got the third one there, and that's your direction. And then 4 is stability.
But
stability. Well, originally I'd be like,
stability's good.
Well, what's bad about this? Why are we going into the 5 now? There's no story.
Because we need something more.
It festers. We wait too long.
Yep.
And then
stability is great,
but
stability is great until it petrifies, and you need to, keep going. You need the 5 to bring spirituality in.
Oh,
and,
boom!
Yeah.
It's like, oh man,
yeah.
And that pretty much completed my story for the numbers. I used to have different stories for it, but that just was perfect.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. There's nuggets of wisdom.
Yes. So what else have you got? Where you want to go to next?
Okay. Well, if you want to go back to talk about going back to the original sources. So this is a classic book, 3 books of occult philosophy, which was...
You can go to the full camera right there.
Camera, yep, sure. This one was first published pre-tarot. So this goes way, way back. And you have things like numerology and elemental associations, why we consider the salamander to be a fire thing, why we consider the sylph or the fairies to be air. It's all originates in probably this was one of the first sources for that kind of stuff. Yep. So this is
I've got Tyson's other book over there, which I wasn't going to pull out, but you're blocking me. But but if you want to pull that out, because I can show you also that one. Yeah. Oh, so if you see it on the second shelf, it's the brown book. It's right next to the Tarot of the Bohemians.
Yes. Another good one.
So this is another book by Tyson. And this one right here is the essential. So it's the actual writings themselves.
Well, this book was.
So that one's got the writings, and it also has essays and things like that.
But to be clear, this was not written by Donald Tyson. This was just edited and annotated by it.
Yep.
This is a book that predates Donald Tyson.
Oh, yeah. Which is the same as this one right here.
Is he annotating that one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's the same kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got one book, I got the other.
Yep. We make a library.
We do make a library. And it is interesting to go back because, I already pulled out the history of the occult tarot, wherever I did with that. And so I got interested in the original. I want to see what de Gebelin said in his encyclopedia, but I can't read French. So this was a good one to be able to go through and see what was originally
Sure.
written.
Here's another classic that this is the Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung. Mm-hmm. And fantastic book, not so much tarot, but on understanding the subconscious and symbols that the tarot is so much a part of that.
And Carl Jung was so pro tarot.
Yeah.
He's talked about it, he wrote about it, and all those wonderful things like that.
So that's another good one.
Well, I know one that
we both love.
You always talk about this guy.
Yeah. Bring this one out. This is a great one.
This is Robert Place, Tarot, Magic, Alchemy, Hermeticism, and Neoplatonism, 2nd edition, symbols going down the side.
Oh, and I love this book. Robert Place is a contemporary. He is alive and creating tarot decks today. And some of his decks are fantastic.
Yeah. And he does a good comparison. Oh, here, I'll just flip to this one.
Yeah. This book is packed with wisdom.
Yeah, and he does.
Keep going to that other page.
I know. And he does the comparisons of the different cards, and he discusses them.
These are two of his decks, and then he's comparing it to the classic Noble and the Rider-Waite-Smith.
Yeah.
But he goes through not just describes the tarot, but the cards, but then goes through a whole bunch of the history. So you've got Levi and some of his original illustrations.
Yeah.
You've got all the stuff that the tarot is based off of or incorporates.
Right, and the new so that is the as it moved from the original Marseille into more of an occult, esoteric, and he covers this brilliantly in this book.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to move into the more esoteric side and understand it.
Yes. But as my other book will give fodder to my opinions that these ideas are possibly in a part of the original mindset of the tarot creators. I know that's a big
we're not gonna have that.
Sure?
I'm gonna make a place card that says we differ on this because it happens a lot.
I know, but now I've got a book.
We should have a disclaimer so that we don't go on for too long. But more, thank you, Elise, by the way.
But more, and if you have any questions,
we will. We'll put the names in the.
Here's another great one that our friend Levi. This is The History of Magic. Another book that doesn't really delve into too much of the tarot per se, but a lot of the stuff that is tarot related.
Yeah. And so the occult history, which I already showed and it disappeared on me. The occult history of the tarot that I showed, that one goes really in depth into Levi. Here we go. Decker. So I'll just flash this up again. So as we're talking about all this stuff, if you want to get a history of, Levi and who he is, and all the people that came after him, all that wonderful stuff, you can actually read the history in this one. It's dry. It's written by a scholar. There is no murder, death, and destruction.
Sometimes
He'll go into 10 pages about, how interesting this one word is. But I liked it.
I find it interesting.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Here's another controversial one, since I'm stirring you up. This is by Stephen Schmidt. Made this one back in the 70s, and this is Astrology 14. So not just 12.
Not just 12.
Not just 12 signs of the zodiac.
Man.
14.
This is the reason why he doesn't have a tarot deck made yet.
No.
Tell them why.
No. So yeah, in my deck, I'm including the zodiac, as well as a whole bunch of other cards that are not part of the or the typical.
So what we have here is that
78.
as the stars move, and as the Earth shifts orbit, and as the stars are aligning, and we're waiting for Cthulhu to arrive when the stars are right. So the stars have changed, and this gentleman here is saying that with that we now have new constellations.
Not new.
Oh.
They're always been there.
The stars have always been there.
That's true, but they've just moved a little bit, and now he's adding 2 more zodiac signs. So it's Ophiuchus, who is the serpent bearer, paired with Cetus, the sea serpent. So you got 2 new signs to mix things up in this thing we called sidereal astrology that he pretty much invented. So I think it's cool, and so I had those 2 additional signs in additional to the 12, just to mess with your mind.
Yeah, and that'll just be interesting because when I read a deck, I read the deck based on what it is. So I will take all that into consideration.
Yeah.
So
I see a lot of angry faces.
McFry, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness, what is going on? Chicken McFry is spamming us with lots of emoticons. I don't know. Put the user in the timeout.
Yeah. Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah, that's just way too many emoticons.
Yeah. You're in timeout right now there, Chicken McFry. Sorry.
Chicken McFry.
So,
anyway, yeah, what other books you got over there?
Oh, what other books? Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? Why don't we also talk about, I've got a bunch of other books, but there's decks that we haven't touched in a long time.
I didn't bring my decks.
Well, I brought them.
Okay.
So, I mean, since we started doing the pips for the months that we've been doing that, we haven't gone to the Visconti anymore, which I love this deck. And, we have the Swiss JJ.
Sure.
Which this deck here has the Juno and the Jupiter instead of the Pope. And these...
They're trying to de-Christianize.
This was an important deck for us because we were able to see as they moved into the 1800s. We have the... we have the granddaddy of them all.
The Noble.
The Noble.
Yes, indeed.
The Noble was an important deck here that we had because this one here was, what year was this? Like 15 something, but it was still like one of the first.
Got the notes.
Yeah.
This was the first, the earliest still existing complete deck of Marseille-style tarot from 1650.
Yeah, and so we would go through these when we were doing all the history of the original cards, and we haven't touched them since. So I kind of missed that.
Yeah.
And we would, and this one right here I got from Joseph Peterson. You can get them off of eBay. I'm not eBay, but Etsy.
Yeah.
And this is a really nice recreation. So it's actually a photocopy. So they look old. They feel really good, but we haven't talked about it in a long time. Same thing with this, the Dodell.
Dodell, yeah.
Another this is a fantastic one, and I can recommend.
Another early Marseille-style deck.
So
I should have brought my decks. I didn't realize we were going to do...
Well, this was a big thing for us.
Absolutely.
Lauren's retros. So because these were also part of our study.
Yep.
The ancient Italian Sola Scarborough, came out with some decks, and we used to pull these out so that we could see different
Yeah, and I own
different
both
ones.
of those. Yeah, that's
And then
And then I introduced you to Word.
well, no, you didn't introduce me to
Yes,
Word.
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Maybe you did.
I did, and you got so excited, and I was so excited that you were excited.
This has turned into one of my favorite decks.
I
though.
know, and I'm excited about the fact that you love it so much because this is an esoteric deck. This is
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this was from the 1800s, and prior to the Golden Dawn, you had some esoteric orders, and he was requested to make the trumps.
He was not a member of the Golden Dawn, and we made a mistake early on in one of our first episodes referring to him as such, but he was not. He was of the French tradition, so completely different. Not with Waite and Crowley and the rest of them in English school. He was French school. So.
But that turned out to be one of my favorite. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
That turned out to be one of my favorite decks.
Oh, it's mine too.
And it's Marseille based.
Yeah.
But it's wonderfully done.
Yeah.
Have we seen Artesians? Yes. Which deck do I have from Artesians?
Artesians?
Yes. Because those are awesome. I'm sure I've got a deck from Artesian.
You've got a lot of decks.
Yeah, I got a lot of decks. How many guitars can you play at one time, honey? 20?
How many decks of tarot can I fit on that shelf
until
it breaks?
Before it breaks. A 1, a 2, a 3. More. Yes, so I miss the fact that we're not pulling out these decks and comparing them again.
Well, we are now.
We are, and but I miss those days. That really was. It was like I ended up ordering some of these decks because I was reading about them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the whole reason I got the what's it called the Mantegna deck I bought because of our conversations.
Yeah.
I bought the what was that
well, you also got the Madrone.
The Madrone,
Madrone, the Solobusca.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I had the Solobusca before we even started talking.
So, because we started doing this, I started buying all these recreations and all these other decks.
Be careful. It's an addictive habit.
Yes.
Disclaimer.
There's worse addictions.
Tarot decks will lead to more tarot decks.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, there's another book that ended up coming out last year.
Oh, we both have a copy of this one.
It's a book that we both really.
Yeah.
This book right here.
This one is a good one.
Can you
put it on the other camera, maybe?
Yeah. See, I've got this camera set up so it focuses on our eyes. Have y'all noticed? So in the beginning, the cameras were blurry. It was hard. You couldn't see how you... It's like I finally figured out how to set my cameras 10 months later. I was just browsing their site. They have a no black deck free with orders. Yeah, it's like $8.
Right.
If they still have that going on.
And
Carla's got 20 decks.
Just a starter.
Yeah.
Call us back when you have 200.
Bought this book. Let's see. So here is an amazing book. And you can tell...
this one is great.
Laetitia Barbier that we said that because this book right here became one of my favorite go-tos. Because it's got beautiful, the
artwork is...
full decks.
She got special permission to... I haven't seen the art for some of these decks so crisply and so large. Right. It's beautiful.
It really is. So when doing... She does the history. She touches on the history. I write on books. I have no pride. I will write. I will highlight books.
Oh my goodness.
Because I don't care. They're my books and these are meant to be used. But yes, so this turned out to be a fabulous resource to be able to find pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
And that popped up every now and then.
That's a great one.
It is.
And, then I've got occasional little weird books that I picked up along the way.
But this, Michael, this is the great secrets of the Middle Age.
I know. There's actually some fun nuggets in even in these.
So
weird
what kind of
ones.
stuff is in that one? Because I haven't seen that one.
Oh, this is by Margaret Starbird. This is it's going into some of the this is the how do you pronounce that again? The Grigonoir.
Oh, Greek Noir.
The Charles
is the
the
sixth?
sixth deck.
Charles the Sixth.
Yeah.
Renoir.
And how it corresponds to the Grail legend, but it's fun. Not every book has to be mind-blowingly.
Yeah, Twix is saying y'all should set up some affiliate links and Amazon buy links, and I had looked into that. And,
we should switch the camera back.
Oh, you can talk to my tablecloth for a while. I'd looked into that. It's like I really should. Part of me, one of the things that I got from Joe Dworsky, I'm not going to find it again, is he didn't charge for the tarot, and one of my main things was just always charging for the tarot and making money from it and stuff like that. And I found that
it's not always about the money.
It's not about the money.
Yeah.
And with COVID and all, I used to do some other charity work. Okay, so I'm the board member for the Baltimore Shakespeare Factory. I would be the musical director, and I would do a lot of charity stuff for that because it's something I believed in. And so when that pretty much closed down because of COVID, then that just came back to me what Joe Dworsky had said, and I just started doing all this stuff to teach.
Yeah,
and to learn. The more I teach, the more I learn.
Absolutely. And the thing with there's nothing wrong with charging.
Oh no!
For skill.
I love money.
Yeah, I know, right?
And just like Twix said, it's not about the money, but the way you can invest in more new books and share with them and community.
We probably lose more money than we earn.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But the enjoyment is so great. And
it pays for itself almost.
And there's worse.
I really, really wish I could make the money back.
Yeah, but it's I see it as in addition to giving readings or whatever. I like to empower people to do their own readings. So if we have taught a little bit more about the tarot, then more power to the people and let them read for yourself. Because who's going to be a better reader to tap into your own subconscious than yourself?
Oh, and the meditation part.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's also a big thing with it. So yeah, so that's the whole thing right there. I mean, I charge for readings. I have no problems with that. But like I've always said, is that
you also give a lot away.
Yeah, if somebody comes to the MyTarot group, they want to share, they want to do whatever.
Yeah.
I'll do free readings. Donations, I don't care.
Exactly. We're good people.
I try to be.
Well, that's what the tarot is all. It's helping us become better people.
That's the main goal.
Yeah.
So,
self-reflection.
we're not going to get rich.
Yeah, no.
So what else you got, Michael?
Okay, what else I got? So, do you
I might.
How much time we got?
We've got 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. So, would you like to know about my method of how I read and remember card associations and that kind of thing?
Well, let's cover. Actually, that might be just another whole thing in itself.
Okay, we can do that another time.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
what do you want to do?
Well, what I was going to do is just cover a couple other books because we have Ben Bove here.
Yeah, we both have this one. This is a good one.
And again, the majors are in here. Okay, all the majors are in here, and the explanation of the pips. So when you compare it with the Rider Waite. As I always say, that Pamela Coleman Smith just did snapshots of a much bigger picture. It's just one still frame. You see that Three of Hearts with the swords going through it, but it doesn't tell a complete story. So when you look at a book like this, you can see more of a complete story.
And this one's good for not only understanding the Marseille, but understanding it reversed. So this
Yeah.
is
So he
focuses on the reversals for.
he worked with Joe Dvorsky, and so his deck, and this is the deck that I read almost 50% of the time in the mornings. Anybody who comes at 7:15 in the morning will recognize this because this is the deck that I customized for myself. But it was recreated by Yov Ben Dov, who just recently died a few years ago. I didn't do it. But he sat at the feet of Joe Dvorsky. He learned from Joe Dvorsky. He went to his classes and all that stuff.
And his deck is great because it is it's a Marseille style.
Well, it's an accurate reproduction of the Marseille.
Well, sort of.
Well,
It's-
he
it's-
actually he
cleaned things up.
he
his
copied
own-
over it,
yep.
and then he cleaned it up, and then he
his
made
own-
the colors and everything.
Yeah.
So
He adjusted slightly to his own style, not big amounts,
but his goal was, and you can see it when you pull the cards up,
sure.
to be able to put them side by side with the old ones. He just wanted to make it
A clean version,
so that
yeah.
when somebody with modern sensibilities look easy peasy, full screen. There we go. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you are.
So that when somebody looks at this, the eyes aren't all wonky and things like that, but otherwise it really is pretty accurate.
Yeah, because some of those older decks, they all looked grumpy. So, I mean,
that's a good looking one, but
you're right. But a lot of the
look at that lovers.
Oh, you gotta focus in on it. Bring
What
it down
is up
here.
with
You gotta
focus
bring it
today?
down.
I
You're too far
did.
away. But
Well,
yeah,
it's really good, but unless it's shiny, they're gonna fight with us anyway.
Yeah.
They're really wonky.
the point is that
They're really wonky, and
a lot of them look grumpy. But
Yes.
but so the
and I wanted to also show another book that was one of my major go-tos.
yes.
So
Funk.
this one right here, yeah, this is a funk. This is like a 30-week course on reading the tarot. It's still there. I hope. Yes.
There we are.
30-week course on reading the tarot. I often watch as I'm going to bed to unwind. Oh, cool.
That's great.
But it really is amazing. He goes into the symbology. He goes into the history. I mean, he just looks at, he's taking a look at all the different crowns, what people wear and what they mean.
Oh, Carlos got a question for us. What's the
Yes.
best way to break in a new deck? Because some are so stiff.
The best way, I will tell you, the best way is to learn a different way to shuffle. And the way to do that is my poker shuffle. And I need to do a video on this because this comes up. But when you do the bridge shuffle, oh my gosh, this is painful.
Don't ruin your cards.
I know. That's, you know what? They're tools.
All right.
This deck is like 20-something years old. But
Show us the nice way.
But doing a brand new deck like this is much easier. So if you can learn, and I really need to do a video on this where you do this and you just let them fall. A new deck is not that difficult. So even when you get a deck like this,
Wait for it.
look at this beautiful deck.
It's a beautiful bag.
But it's
The
massive.
classic.
I'm going to make a fool because
Noir.
it's like I haven't tried shuffling this in a long time. But this is still super stiff, super new because I don't use it. But you get the idea. Even something like this, if you can learn how to do that. There we go.
Look at that. Nice.
Yes.
Nice
You can
shuffle.
learn to do that. So learning how to do that, there's a lot of videos on the internet, and I am now inspired to do one of those darn videos. That is how I do it. Let me see. So put you back up there.
The more you use it, the softer they
Yes.
become.
And so here's another deck. I'm just gonna break stuff.
I hope not.
Here's another book. So I haven't shown much for the Rider-Waite, but this book right here, Learning the Tarot, a tarot book for beginning by Joan Bunning. So I've got a bunch of tarot books and things like this, but this one here actually, turned out to be a good book that I find that I still go to for referencing, just because she gives you the keywords, the major keywords, and then she breaks the keywords down even more, and she describes what you're saying, and she has pointed out stuff on the deck that I had not noticed before. It's like, let me look at the card because I can't believe that's there. And it's like there's this little tiny thing there, and it's like, wow. So this is another book that I have
consulted.
Yes, and it is a Rider-Waite. And the reason why I haven't pulled out a lot of Rider-Waites because I've read those books, I've memorized a lot of those books. Not memorized because I'm not that smart. But it was the Marseille stuff that kind of inspired a lot of what we're doing now, because it just kind of blossomed into something new and wondrous.
Sure.
And I've only got like one more, a couple more here.
A couple.
But we have the pictorial key. And I tell you what, do not use this to learn how to read the key. Yes, this is by Arthur Edward Waite. Yes, he invented the tarot.
Well, he didn't invent the tarot.
Well, no, I mean, he okay, I'm sorry. He did not invent the
He
tarot.
would like to think that.
He would like to think that, but, the writing in here tells you nothing about the cards you're about to read.
Oh, it tells you some things.
It doesn't.
It's just the hard way.
I loved pulling out examples of his, his writings in here because it's so out there and has nothing to do with. So I know people may have, but a lot of people agree. And then one other thing, and then that is it for the books.
Oh, your own book.
Well, let's call it just that.
Yes.
I'm going to call
Your
this.
notes.
I'm going to call this your own book. Just like this is my tarot. My tarot actually is your tarot.
Yes.
Have you got your journal? Have you got your book?
Start a journal.
Start a journal, because I tell you,
you learn things.
When you
yourself.
When you learn something cool, about something,
Jot it on down.
2 pages of it. Write it down.
Yeah.
Do
a little sketch.
That's one of the things that definitely helped me remember all of this, is that, I would learn these cool things, and I would learn how Pandora and the Star and all this other stuff, and it's like, I want to remember these stories. So I have a journal that has all the cards in it.
Yep. Keep a tarot journal. Keep a dream journal. It's good to write things down.
Exactly. So, and, part of me wishes that I had done it electronically. But to tell you the truth, a leather-bound book is so much more cool.
I like to tactile, to feel something. So much is virtual these days that I like real stuff.
Yeah. So I got that book. Twix is asking. So I got it at Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
Found it there, and it's that's one of those things where you want to find something that's personal for you.
Right.
So and I just thought that this was pretty, and it had that look to it and everything else, nice and thick, hand sewn, and
yeah.
And it's just my notes, and I love going back because sometimes Michael's like, no, show our faces. Click on it. He's, when you're driving and you're trying to brake in the passenger seat. Michael's like, change to our faces.
Well, I mean, I'd get bored.
I showered. I showered for this.
Wow,
I want people to see it.
You linger on your beautiful tablecloth too long, and people will start migrating off to.
Let's see. Does it have a marker or a maker on the in here? Let's see.
Journals.
Just
find a good journal.
Yeah.
There's
who to
tons of
belong to, and then
No.
Well, it was handmade in Italy, but it just has the Barnes and Nobles in the back. So this is made for Barnes and Nobles in New York.
There you go. Happy browsing.
Authored by me.
Yeah. They probably don't have that one in stock anymore, but they're gonna have something that you're just gonna connect for you. So just pick out anyone that's blank and fill it up.
Exactly. So, and I'll show a book that it's like, okay, I've got to get this because I have stuff by Kaplan. Kaplan, who died probably, I guess, about 10 years ago or so. But he did a lot of the Little White Books.
Oh, not only that, but the History of the Tarot volumes 1, 2, 3,
4.
And yeah, those are books in both our libraries.
Oh my God. So I'm thinking, this is what I've got to get. A lot of people will see this. It's the History of the Tarot, and it's like, oh my God. You know what? It's very difficult to work with.
Oh.
I mean,
there's
it's
a lot of inspiration.
It's interesting. The first edition is pretty much all you need. The
Yeah.
rest of them you're going to spend $200 or $300 for. And
all I have is the first edition. But
yeah.
but that is.
the first volume, but the second volume and third volume, they start going into the third and fourth, start going into newer decks and things like that, and it just really.
But they're good. They're good.
I don't use this because I was able to find other references and stuff like that, to tell you the truth, and plus everything in here is black and white.
Yeah. It's
except for some pages.
It's more of a textbook.
Yeah. So if you were ever wondering about this book, it's a good book to have. It's interesting. It is an encyclopedia. But I didn't end up going to it too much.
I did go to the first volume to be inspired for some of those bonus cards in my deck.
Oh yeah.
So
especially being an artist, I mean, there's so many
much
pictures in there.
Exactly. And even if they are black and white, they would at least start me going searching for down rabbit holes to find more information. I want to learn more about the Falconer. I want to know more about that dragon card, and
Right.
These are the cards that I am putting into my deck that were in those very early incarnations.
Yeah.
As documented in that book, and that's what first got me excited about making a fuller deck.
Right. So let's see, and a couple other things that I learned.
Yeah.
So I'd never heard of the MULUK deck, which was the original Pips card.
That's right.
From the Middle East.
Yes.
So that's where the cards came from.
Sure.
So you had your Pip cards from that.
Yeah.
Mumluk.
Yeah.
Learning that it was a trick-taking game. I didn't really think about that prior to this. But since, the tarot is a trick-taking game, that means that, a 4 is higher than a 1, a 3 is higher than this. So in here, when I saw the Magician, all I knew is what the books, we have all these books starting with Gray on up, and it would talk about the Magician, the manifesting, the magical powers, and things like that. But when you were playing the Noble, and it's like, the 1500s, the Magician is the lowest card in the deck.
But
because it was considered the juggler or the con man.
But since we're going down that road.
Well, okay, but hold on.
Hold on.
I'm still talking here.
Oh boy! All right.
About learning.
I need my flashcard. I disagree with Jamie.
All right. So when it came across from the Middle East.
Yes.
Came in through Spain. Came in through the wars. Things like that. 500 decks are made. They're going to play a game with it.
Okay,
then what you're saying is that you have some other people that might be doing something different. But I don't want to go down this rabbit hole when I'm trying to just say my feelings.
Well, what am my feelings?
Because I'm talking about what I gained from it and why.
And I can't talk about what I gained from it and why?
Does this have anything to do with my explanation of why, reading the Marseille now, I can go ahead and say that I have a different look at, and that's what I'm saying. What you're about to say has nothing to do with what I'm explaining.
Okay.
Yours is a history lesson. I'm saying the reason why we fight about this all the time. The reason why I find it important is because now I look at the game of tarot, not the history, the game of tarot. I don't care about the history with this, Michael. Okay? The game of tarot. And that shows that the Magician was number 1 and the lowest. The High Priest, or the Papist, was 2 and 3. And so part of what this really helped me is I'd always wanted to read intuitively. And so part of that was how would people in the 15th, 16th century see the cards? And when they looked at the cards, they would know the numerology and they would follow the path of that, as far as what would take it. This doesn't have anything to do with the history.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. So, now that you totally distracted me, I was going to go down a whole different path. But now you totally distracted me.
And I can't say any of my golden nuggets, no?
Well,
we're going to keep it totally on your feelings, not on mine, right?
Well, hold on. But you interrupted my...
I did interrupt. I was quiet.
You interrupted
I was being so patient.
Because I was just explaining. Okay. How it really... And what it did is that it enhanced.
Is it my turn?
Go for it.
Okay, cool.
But... Are you teaching or are you showing how you came to it? Because we're not doing history lessons right now.
I understand. But I'm just saying that that the idea of you resonate that you see that
I have documented historical proof that says it's a game. They have the rules on how to play the damn game.
Yes,
okay,
but...
So 99% of the people who got this deck, what did they do with this deck?
You're asking questions and we're going...
They played a game!
We're keeping it on your feelings and your...
No, I'm telling you, why can't you admit that they used it to play a game?
Of course it was a game.
Thank you.
Of course, but that's not all it was.
To how many people?
Well, can I
Go for it.
May I speak?
Yep.
Okay. So in this book, which I just got, which is fantastic, and which I'm going to have you read. Let's see here. There is. Okay. Let me start with this. Are you going to bore the people to death with this? I might bore you. Okay, I think these people are going to be excited. They're laughing out loud.
I know. That's why I'm encouraged. It's like, go ahead.
May I?
You may.
Okay. So let me start with this quote because I know it'll get you on board. So, what is primary interest to our current study is there's no documented tarot references to occult history or meaning, be it Gypsy, Italian, Egyptian, whatever, before the 18th century. Are you happy?
Okay, but you know what I was told a long time?
Oh,
hold on.
No, I'm still talking. You're interrupting me.
I was told anything after but is bullshit when I was explaining to my father. Go for it. Okay.
All right. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now...
But...
Now, I have another thing. Considering that divination was branded by the church in the late 15th century as the worst form of magic, incurring the severest punishments, it's not surprising that the court patrons did not document such use.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's the same thing in the Joe Dvorsky's. I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
you're interrupting
that's
again.
True.
You're interrupting again.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I have another one.
Go for it.
Let's see here. Hold on a second. Where was the other one that I was pulling out? I had these underlined just for this.
It's 6:30 for a history lesson.
Oh, it's not a history lesson.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, the reason I'm pulling this up is because that you always say that the magician is number one. He's so low, but when you think of an ace, that's also a number one, and the ace is considered both at the top and the bottom of the play when you're playing a game.
But why is he called the battler? Why is he called the juggler?
So that's
okay.
That is a great question.
You know what? So we will do an entire. You
promise?
I promise.
Okay. So, and you won't get mad?
No.
Okay.
I tell you what. So
all
we are actually so that. Because yes, Michael, I understand all this. I've said that 100 times.
But you always fight it.
Well, because I was talking about the game and the rules that people played the game by. I'm not talking about the 7 people that got together as a cabal and created
more than 7.
Okay,
you're discounting it.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
You want to pull. You're trying to bring in something when it had nothing to do with what I was saying.
That's not true.
I was saying that there is a set of rules to this game. And that by reading these rules, learned a lot.
That's great.
That is all I wanted to say. I didn't want to go into a history lesson.
And all I wanted to say is not a history lesson, but just saying that you're missing half the story.
No, that's a totally different story. That's a different chapter. That is a different chapter.
Okay.
And I didn't want to talk about that as I tried to explain why I found it important to realize it was a game.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with what you were saying.
Okay. I defer to you. It's all good. I apologize for bringing up another point that I find interesting.
I know you do, but I know. But why do you have to do it every time I want to talk about the numbering of the tarot? Every time. It's like I can't get the point out.
Not every time.
I can't. It does. You do. And I can't get my point across because you distract me. So now the people out there have no idea. I had these nuggets of wisdom for you that were amazing. It was going to be the catalyst of everything. It was going to be the deepest thing
mind blowing. Ever heard. I was patient. I was quiet.
I had waited an hour to finally present you with, and there was this game, and then now I forgot.
There was this game, right? But it's more than a game.
Okay. See, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's more than a game.
Okay, so I'm not going down that road anymore.
All right.
Let me see. Was there anything else? Because it helped me to understand the definition of intuitive reading when I started asking myself how people in the 14th and 15th century saw these pictures. That's what I was getting to. That was my bullet point. And tarot, what it means to be a trick-taking game. And how it makes reading Marseille different than the writer Wade Smith. That's the point I wanted to get across. That has nothing to do with the history.
Nothing to do with my point.
No, it didn't. You totally distracted me from it.
I'm sorry, I distracted you.
So Twix has got to go, and it is 6:30.
Bye, Twix.
And I tell you what.
Thanks for putting up with us.
I know.
All right.
So on a positive note,
promise me this.
I promise you we will do something on that.
Okay.
Okay? So
we can both have our opinions voiced. So they can hear your point of view of the tarot is just a game, and my viewpoint that the tarot might have been more than just a game from the beginning.
All right.
That will be our next episode.
Michael, you need your own show.
Oh, come on. I love Jamie, dear. I love because he gets upset, and half the fun is getting him upset.
I don't get upset. I just like having
the spotlight on you.
No. Let's see where we're going from now on with this.
Okay. Where are we going from now?
Plain and simply.
All right.
The thing is that we need to maintain and not be serious.
Yes.
Okay, because
keep it light.
Because here's
keep
the page,
keep it light.
And he's all distracted here, and so the thing is that we need to just keep it light because the page is reversed. But we can see where we started with the three of wands.
But the page is isn't that in the position of the advice?
The advice, and so I'm just kind of going through here. So
okay.
The page, and then we have where we're arguing right here. So I'm trying to build on something, but it's like, you know what? Even through that, we walk through the mystery.
There we go.
We are walking. And so the page reverse is also about learning. Maybe I need to open up my eyes more.
There you go.
Okay, so
I like that.
So the page reverse could be emotionally closed-minded. Yep.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Yep. How about
we're gonna grow.
So
we're gonna grow together.
We're gonna grow. We're gonna move to new territory.
Sounds great.
Okay. Because I absolutely want to hear what you're saying.
Good. Thank you. That's all I asked.
Okay. So and we did another reading. We always do a reading. We got busted for not having a reading.
You gotta throw in a reading every time.
We got busted for trying not to do a reading one time, and then cards fell out, and it's like, dang it, that's a reading.
And there is a fish in the cup.
There's a fish in the cup. Which happened this morning. So, Michael!
Jamie.
We did the whole tarot.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Oh, man, thank you for putting up with me.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you for...
putting up with both of us.
Thank you for us putting up with you. It was a pleasure.
Well, of course we put up with you. We love you. Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, you are so amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody has that amazing week, the amazing day. Thank you all so much. I will be back again tomorrow. MyTarot.org. I'm going to put a bunch of these books there and things like that. And I've got to remember to put everything into the the description down below. Blah blah blah. blah.
All the stuff.
Oh man, I'm gonna put you to work because it's like I have to type all that.
I can help.
Okay.
I'm happy to help.
Guys, so thank you so much. Oh,
It's always an adventure, always fun.
It's because of you all that we actually learn so much.
Yes.
So again, Michael.
Again, always. Take care. Till next week.
See you all later, everybody. Bye. Oh! We got bonus material for the DVD.
What?
So
What?
we have bonus material for the DVD.
Why? What?
Guess what we have?
What do we
bonus material for the DVD.
What do we have? Oh, you want to see behind the
Anybody
scenes?
interested in seeing behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes.
This is the bonus material.
Okay.
So So
this is what.
So this
is on the other side of the.
So this
No.
is what we see. So see this?
This is the other side of the.
This is the other side of the room.
This is what are we looking at?
This is what we're looking at. So, I ended up, because of this, I bought the microphone.
Yeah.
The M Audio. I ended up buying why it looks so different.
This is my
Yep.
this is my second screen here.
Yep.
Right there. That's our backup camera. Just in case Jamie's goes bad, we've got a backup iPad recording,
Yep.
which has come in handy.
So I had originally bought the Panasonic here because when trying to do it just from a webcam, you can see how bad it was originally.
Yeah.
And then I ended up buying the Lumix, which is right there. And so yes, and so this is
That's the other side of the tarot room. Yep.
This is the tarot room.
Yay.
So yep. So again, Michael, let's see if we get all both of us in here.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we in there?
Who knows?
So that's us. That's the room. That's the light I ended up buying. And it's like, I ended up learning a lot of stuff from you guys. So this is the DVD bonus material.
Yay.
Thank you all so much and take care.